What is time-weighted average, TWA, for workplace hearing safety? Imagine working in a loud factory or construction site where noise levels change throughout the day. How do safety experts figure out if your hearing is at risk? That's where the concept of the time-weighted average comes in. It's a way to measure your overall noise exposure during a typical workday, usually 8 hours. Instead of just looking at the loudest moments, it combines all the noise levels you experience and the time spent at each level into a single number. This helps determine if your exposure is within safe limits or if steps need to be taken to protect your hearing. The TWA is calculated by measuring noise levels in decibels at different times during your shift and noting how long you're exposed to each level. For example, if you're exposed to 86 decibels for 6 hours and 92 decibels for 3 hours, the calculation considers both how loud it is and how long you're exposed. This way, it provides an average that reflects your total noise dose over the entire workday. The goal is to see if this average exceeds safety thresholds set by health and safety authorities. Regulatory agencies like the Occupational Safety and Health Administration set limits based on the TWA. If your average noise exposure reaches or exceeds 85 decibels, it signals that protective measures are needed. This might include providing hearing protection devices like earplugs or earmuffs, conducting regular hearing tests, and training workers about noise risks. When noise levels go beyond 90 decibels, stricter protections are usually required. Using the TWA helps prevent noise-induced hearing loss, which can happen after long-term exposure to loud sounds. Hearing loss from noise is permanent and can affect daily life, communication, and safety. By calculating the TWA, employers can identify when noise exposure becomes risky and take action early. This might involve engineering controls to reduce noise at the source, administrative changes to limit exposure time, or ensuring workers wear proper hearing protection. In practical terms, safety teams measure noise at different times and places during the workday, then use the TWA to decide if workers are at risk. If the average exceeds safe limits, they implement hearing conservation programs. These programs include regular hearing tests to track changes over time, training workers on how to protect their hearing, and providing the necessary protective gear. They also monitor the effectiveness of noise controls to keep exposure within safe levels. In summary, the time-weighted average is a vital tool in workplace hearing safety. It helps quantify how much noise workers are exposed to on average during a typical shift. By keeping this average below the safety threshold, employers can reduce the risk of permanent hearing damage and promote a safer work environment. If you work in a noisy setting, it's always a good idea to ask your employer about noise measurements and protective measures. Remember, protecting your hearing today helps ensure you enjoy good hearing health in the future. Always consult health professionals for personalized advice on hearing safety and noise exposure.